Let's get you over to Chrissy.
Well, Shali, I think a lot of us have heard this story before. You go to the best schools, you get what you think is the best job, you get caught up in this rat race, and for some reason, you've got all the best credentials, but you're still not feeling it. Something doesn't quite feel right to you. So author Marcy Morrison is here. She wrote a book, and the book is called Finding Your Passion, The Easy Guide to Your Dream Career. So, hi, Marcy.
Hi, good morning.
First of all, the book's called Finding Your Passion, The Easy Guide to Your Dream Career. First of all, let's just start with the basics. What is passion?
Passion is what makes people wake up every morning with energy and enthusiasm and just loving what they do. It's that fire that lights our day.
So you think that sometimes that we just get caught up in what we think we should be doing and we miss our own passion. So how do you tell people to find their own passions?
I wrote this book because I saw so many people, like maybe in their 40s, like have this almost like a midlife crisis and say, oh my God, I've never lived my passion.
Yeah.
And so what I had found a lot of times is that people kind of had this block from childhood. Like my parents said I should be a doctor, but that never really fired them up and made them happy. So I wanted to provide this book and a tool to help people tap into that, whether you're in high school trying to figure out what you're going to do in college, whether you've been in your career 5 years and you realize, oh my God, I made a mistake, it's not too late to change, whether you're a mom and thinking about what you want to do, and how do you dig in and find that passion? What is going to make you happy and wake up every day?
Did you write this book because this is something you did yourself?
It is. I've actually had 4 different layers of passion, so to speak, but this book was written, I stayed home as a mom for 3.5 years. And I asked myself what I ask a lot of people. I said, what would you do for free that you love so much? And I realized that I was spending a lot of my time, my volunteer work was speaking at career expos and that. And people would say to me, you've helped me more in 15 minutes than in my whole 4 years of college.
What were you telling them?
I told them to do what they love, and they thought, and for example, I had spoken at a university, and they said, I go to career services, and they want to put me in a little box and send me down the conveyor conveyor belt. I don't feel like I can fit in a box. I feel like I'm a multifaceted person. So I look at it, I call it finding pieces of your passion puzzle.
Finding pieces of your passion puzzle. Tell me more about that.
Well, for me, for example, part of my background actually is I worked in Latin America. I used to travel there 5 times a year, and I love speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
And so that's one piece of my passion puzzle. And the interesting thing is that I've been able to utilize that in my work. So a lot of times I'll assist layoffs, and I'll work with production workers and speak Spanish. So it's interesting, when I first started this, I go, how can I put together all my pieces of my passion? And so it's been really cool to put the Spanish in, I actually love doing things on TV. It's been really fun for me. So how can I put all that together? So a lot of times I'll talk to people and I go, how do we put all these pieces together?
What would you call the whole process? I mean, are we managing people's happiness here? Are we creating strategy for people? I mean, do you look at it in a pragmatic way? Do you look at it in a spiritual way? What's your approach?
It's funny. I said to somebody, I think I kind of miss my calling in some ways. I think part of me is almost a therapist and a personal cheerleader and a strategist. So when I meet with people, sometimes I do find that there's this block. And I go, well, why don't you think you can do that? And like I said, maybe it's something from childhood. So I'll look at them, I'll figure out, what is it that you really love to do? What are your strengths? And then we'll look at really developing a trust their gut, believe in themselves. Because a lot of times people too will listen to all that outside noise. I can't do it. The economy's bad. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't have the right degree.
People get ingrained in that, man. I mean, they believe it. And I believe, let me just play devil's advocate here for a second. I believe that there's nothing you can say to those people to change their minds. When they've made up their mind that they don't know what they want, they don't know how they want it, they don't know how they're going to get it, the economy's bad. I just think that either you're born with passion or you're not. No matter if the economy's bad, no matter what anybody says to you, either you're born with it or not. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
It's interesting. Some of the most devastated people I've seen that have totally lost their passion are people that have been through a layoff. And so I've worked at 2 major layoffs the last 2 years, and one person in particular came to me. She'd really given up hope. She goes, I was totally invested in this place. This is my passion. What am I going to do now? And so we really spent the first 2 sessions kind of allowing her to grieve and be upset. And she was the first person within this group of people to get laid off to find her next step in her passion.
Really?
She got very clear that for her in particular, she had lost a family member, and hospice had been very supportive in that process. And I said, if you could do anything, what would it be? And she goes, I want to help people that are going through that process of grieving like we went through. And if I could do anything, I would work for them. And her strength in particular was fundraising.
So you think everybody has passion? Everybody's born with it? It's just a matter, I mean, it's just a matter if they want it.
Exactly, yes.
You know, if they want it. And then you help them discover what it is they want. Because like you say, people get blocked on what they want. And they don't even know what they want.
I don't even, and you know, it's interesting what I've been finding too is that how I found my passion again was where do you volunteer? So one of my clients had 2 master's degree in research science, but she was finding that she had more energy and enthusiasm and passion volunteering in HR for American Red Cross.
Interesting.
And so I said to her, well, would you like to work there? She goes, yes, that would be my dream job. So for her, she kind of positioned herself, got to know everyone there, and then an opening came. So I said, look where you're volunteering. Where do you love spending your time?
Okay, and I tell you, there's a lot of people with their ears perked because this is a big topic. I think for just people in general, but especially now. Do you do like Up in the Air? Did you see the movie Up in the Air?
Oh yeah, that's my life.
Okay, all right, just curious. Marcy's book, Finding Your Passion. Log on to our website, fox5sandiego.com, and click on the scene on. But stick around because she's going to be back in the 9 o'clock hour talking about how to re-enter the workforce after you've been out of it for a while. Guys, I'm going to send it back to you now in the studio.
That sounds good.